Hello guys and welcome back. In this video series we will create the Instagram clone in Jetpack Compose. So we will create the dark version of Instagram clone. So to do that we need to set the system bar colors to black, and we can achieve this by using the remember system UI control function. So to apply this we need to get this function from accompanist system UI controller dependency. So let's declare the dependency. So we can go to the build.gradle file, and here we can declare the dependency. So I'm just going to paste it here, and then we can sync it. Going back to main activity, and here we can declare the value for the system UI controller. So here we can say value system UI controller, and here we will use the remember system UI controller function. So remember, then we can set the system bar color inside a side effect block. So we can actually remove this surface block completely, and we can declare our side effect. And here we can call our system UI controller dot set system bar color, and then we can set the color to color dot black. So a side effect is basically schedule an effect to run when the composition completes successfully, and then it applies the changes. So after the side effect we can now create the home screen. So for that we need to create a Kotlin file. So in the main root package we can select new Kotlin class, and we can select it as a file and can call it home screen. Here we can create a composable function. So we can say at composable, then we can say function home screen, and here we can declare the surface actually because we removed it from the main activity. So we can declare our surface, and we can give it some properties. So we can say, let's actually define our modifier here first. So modifier, and let's initialize it with modifier. So here we will say modifier equals modifier dot fill max size. So it will take the entire screen, and then we also want the screen to be black because we are making the dark theme. So here we can say color equals color dot black, and we can actually remove this import from here because we already got the import. So let's make a text and run it and see if everything is working fine. So let's declare a simple text. Let's say hello compose, and we need to give it a color also because we made the background black. So we need to make it white, otherwise it will disappear in black background because the text is by default is black color. So let's run it and see if everything is fine on the starting level. and our first launch is successful, but we forget to call the home screen in our set content block in the main activity. So let's just declare the home screen here and let's run it again. So it's running as we intend. So now we can move forward with our home screen. So let's create the app bar for the clone. So here I will create another function for the top app bar. So we can say at composable function, let's call it app bar, and let's initialize our modifier. So we can say modifier equal modifier. Let's open the curly braces. Inside this function we need a row where we can put the Instagram logo and the plus sign to add new post. So here we need a row, so we can say row, and we need to give it some properties. So we will say modifier equals modifier dot fill max width, so it can fill the entire width of that row, and we need height of 35 dp, so we can set the height to 35.dp, and let's import the dp, and let's also give some padding, so we can say padding 5.dp. So now the row is ready and we can put the item inside it. So the first item is the logo itself. So I already have downloaded the logo, and you can choose a logo of your own choice from Pinterest or from wherever you want. So here I will just say image, and we need to select the painter one, and then we need to just provide the painter resource. So I will say painter resource, and here we need to provide the ID of that resource. So let me just quickly paste the logo inside our drawable. So I will just paste it inside the drawable. Now I can provide the ID for it. So in ID we can say r dot drawable dot header logo, and for content description we can just pass it null, and we need to align it to the start of the top, so we can say alignment, and here we can say alignment top dot start, and we can also give it a size. So let's say modifier equal modifier dot size, and we can give it 128 of dp. Now to put the plus and arrow icon, we need the coil image loading library, because we are going to pull the image from a URL. So let's declare the dependency for coil image. So we can go to the build.gradle file again, and here we can declare the dependency for coil image. I'm just going to paste it, and it's I'm running the 2.0.0 alpha 05 version, which is I think the latest one. So you should run this version as well. I'm just going to sync it, and we also need the permission, internet permission. So let's add that as well. So in manifest file we can say users permission, and we need the internet permission. So we will say Android dot permission dot internet. Let's close it. It's giving me some error. Oh, it's gone. Let's look at the build.gradle file. It's also successfully synced, so we can get back to our home screen. So now that we have declared the dependency, we want these two items to be at the end of the row. So to work around that, we can actually create another row inside this row. So we can declare that row at the end of the row. So let's do that. So here we can create another row. This is the only workaround that I could find to align it to end of the row. So let's do it. So here we just need to say modifier equals modifier dot fill max width, and then we can call the wrap content width. So here we will say wrap content width, and then here we can call a function wrap content size. So let's call it wrap content size, and here actually we can pass an argument for alignment. So we can say align equals alignment dot top end. Now whatever we put inside this row will go at the end of the row. So here we will put the plus icon and the arrow icon. So let's put the plus icon first using coil image library. So we can again select the image, the painter version, and here instead of painter resource we will use a coil image function called remember async image painter. So remember async image painter, and we can select the first function here with model and filter quality, and here we need to provide a model for it. So for model we can say image request, which is from coil.request. So we can say image request dot builder, and here we need to pass the context, the current context. So to do that we need to declare a variable for context. So let's declare it here. We can say value context, and here we can say local context dot current, and now we can pass this context here. Let's bring it to the next line, and then on this context or builder we can pass all the additional functions that we required. So the first function we need is the crossfade for a smooth transition, so we can say true, and then we need the data itself. So the data is going to be the image URL, so we just need to put the image URL inside this data. So here I will just paste the image URL which I have got from the image.iconset.com. Again, you can choose whatever image you want to choose. It's completely up to you. And then we can call the build function. So dot build, and after build we can declare the filter quality. So here we will say filter quality dot high, and then you can pass the content description. Again I am just going to pass it null, and then we need to provide the scaling. So we can say content scale equal to content scale dot fit, and we need to give it a size also. So we can say modifier equal modifier dot wrap content width, and then we can provide a size. So for size I am going with 32.dp, and then we can also provide a shape for it. So for shape I am going for circular image. So we can call the clip function here, and inside it we can provide the shape, and here we can say circle shape. And then for the arrow icon we can just copy this image function and just paste the data with different URL. Okay, we need to copy all of this. So I'm just going to change the URL, and you can give it a little bit of space if you want here, but I think it's fine without a space. So let's run and see it how it looks. Again, I forget to call this app bar function inside our home screen, so that's why we did not get anything. So let's remove this text quickly and let's call our app bar function here. So now you can see that our app is running, and we can see the app bar with logo and the two icons. Now we need to build the stories component. For that we need to build a single story component, then we will reuse it for multiple stories. So let's create a package for components. So here I will select package and call it components. Then we need to create a Kotlin file for story. So we can say file and we can call it story. Here we need to define a story row item for a single story component. So we can say at composable function story row item. So we can say story row item. So inside this function we need to pass some user data, and for which we will create a data class for a user. So let's create a package, another package for model. So we will say package model, and here we need to create a data class called user. So we will say Kotlin class, and here we will select data class and we will say user, and we are going to have a number of variables. So the first variable is going to be an ID. So we will say ID of type long, and then username. So we can say value username of type string, and image URL for profile picture. So we can say val image URL of type string, and we need to annotate it with at immutable. So at immutable. So we need to use this immutable annotation to produce immutable instance, which means that when we make calls to the repository or from wherever we are getting the data variable name should be same as we are declaring here. And it's really useful when you make network request with retrofit, although we won't use retrofit in this course, and we will use this data class to structure our data, but it's still a good practice to define this data as immutable. Now we can pass this user data structure into our story row item. So here we will say user story of type user. Now in this row item we need to create a card so that we can put together the image and the name in a row column fashion. So here we will say card, and we need to give it some properties. So we will say modifier equals modifier dot size. So first we need to define the size. So for size we can go with width, not width but width. So width 80 dp, and we need to import the dp, and we also need the height. So we can say height equals 100 dp, and after that we can give it some padding. So we can say padding, and we can apply the horizontal padding for 5 dp, so 5.dp, and we also need to set the background color for this card. So we will say here background color dot black, and we can give it some elevation also. So for elevation I'm going with 12.dp, and we can also give it a shape, although we won't be able to see it because everything is black. So it will be invisible, but still we can give it a shape in case we want to go from dark to light theme. In that case we can say it to rounded corner shape, and can give a size of 6.dp. Now in this card we can put together our image and name, and for that we can use a column. So column, and it also required some properties. So we can say modifier equals modifier dot fill max size. Did not get the modifier, so let's get it. And although we are giving it max size, it will take as much size as we define here with this card, because the column is the child of this card. So it will only go as far as 80 dp with width and 100 dp with height. Now we can declare our image first for the profile picture of the user. So here we can say image painter, and again we can use the remember async painter. So let's say remember async image painter, and for model we can do the same. So image request that we did earlier dot builder, and here we need context. So let's define context here first. Value context equal local context dot current, and we can pass the context here. So context, then we can apply the crossfade. So for crossfade let's go with true, and then we need the data. So data we are getting it from the user repository, which will create shortly. So let's access our user story variable or argument that we are passing here in function story row item. Here we will say user story dot image URL. Then we can call the build function, and we also need to pass the filter quality. So we can say filter quality dot high. For content description we can always pass null, it's not an issue here. And then we need to pass some bunch of options. So content scale, and here we can say content scale dot fit, and we also need to give it some size. So we can say modifier equals modifier dot first we will go with wrap content width, so it will always wrap as much size as we give, and then for size we can say 64 dp, and we want it to be circular, so we will clip it. We can call this clip function and provide the shape. So for shape we can say circular shape or circle shape, and that's it for the profile image or image. And the next thing is the username. So for that we can pass a simple text, and for text we can say user story dot username. Then we need to provide the color. So for color we can say color dot white. We can also set the max line, so max line to 1, so it won't go to another line and will stay in one line. So that's for the single story component. Now we need to build a function where we can display the multiple stories from multiple users. So we will create a stories function, and inside that function we will call this single story row item to render multiple stories. So let's do it. So here we will say at composable, and we can say function stories, and here instead of a story we will say story list, because we are going to pass a list of stories, and we will use the list function from kotlin.collections to pass the user as a list. Then here we can declare a modifier. So in this function we will first need a column, so let's say column, and let's give it some properties as well. So modifier equals modifier dot fill max width, and then we can say dot wrap content height, and we can also give some padding from top. So let's say top 20.dp. So to display a multiple list of stories in a horizontal fashion, we can use lazy row. So lazy row, it's equivalent to the recycler view of XML based Android coding, but here we don't have recycler view, we have lazy row and lazy column. So here we will use lazy row because we want it in a horizontal fashion, and it requires a state argument or property. So we can say state, and we can use remember lazy state. So remember lazy list state, sorry. Then we can also give it some properties using modifier. So we will say modifier dot fill max width and dot wrap content height, and we can give it some padding from top. So we can say top 5.dp, and then we can open the curly braces, and here we need to provide an item function to add a list of item which takes items as a parameter to produce the data list. So here we can say items, and we can use this third function, and then we need to provide the items. So items equals, here we can say story list, and then we need to open the curly brace again, and here we need to define a single item with arrow function which is suggesting the first option, and we can leave it as it is. Then we can pass this single item to the story row item that we created. So here we can say story row item, and then for this user story we can pass this single item that we are getting from this story list. So here we can say item. So it will display data for one story item, and this lazy row function will keep adding all the data to this story row item as long as we have data in the repository. Now we need to create a fake repository where we can store our fake data. For now, we will use this fake data to render some content. So let's create a repository package. And here we will say, we will create a class of story repository. Inside this class, we will create a function. So we can say function get all stories, and it's going to be of type list. So we can say list, and then now we need to provide the data structure. So user is going to be the data structure, and then we can open the curly brace, and here we will say return list of, and here we need to provide all the data in the user data format. So I have already created a data and I'm just going to paste it. So I will just paste it, and we got an extra parenthesis. So this is the user data, and just give it some random ID and username and image URL. So most of this image URL are from Instagram itself. So you can choose random Instagram profile images, or you can use it from here. I will put it in the resource or link. And the thing is with these links that they are only for limited time. So after 5 or 6 or 7 days they will expire. So you will have to get a new link for these links. So it will work for 5 or 6 days. So keep remember that. So now that we have our fake data, we can actually go to our home screen function, and we can actually call this function our stories function to render in home screen. So let's first get the reference for our repository data. So we can say value story repository of type equals story repository, and then we can create another value to get all the data. So we can say all stories, and here we can just say story repositories, then dot get all repositories to get all the repositories. And here we can actually now declare a column, and inside this column we can paste this app bar. We can call this app bar, and then we can call our stories function, and for story list we can pass this all story values. So it will get the all data from the repository. Now we can run the app and see the progress. So the app is launched and running, and my Wi-Fi just got down. You can see that in the icon. So you can see the list, but the images are, we are fetching it from the web. So at the moment I cannot show you the images, but as soon as my Wi-Fi is up, I will show you the stories. So now my Wi-Fi is up, so I can show you the progress. So I will click on run. And as you can see that now we are able to fetch the images and name as well. So that was our story component. Now we will build the post function. So now we will build the post component. So we will go to the components package and we'll create a new Kotlin file for post. So here we will say post. So first we will build a post component for a single post. Then we will use lazy column to create multiple posts of user posts. So we will start with add composable. Function post, and here we need a data class for post. So let's create a data class first for our post component. So we will say data class post, and let's make it immutable. So add immutable, and for post we will have a bunch of variables. So the first will be image URL of type string, then the second will be the user, also type of string, the third will be likes, so likes of type string, and caption, which will the user type a caption for a post, so that will be also be in it. And then we need the profile picture of the user who is posting of type string, and then we will have a comment section also. So the comment will be of type list actually. So we will have to make another data class for comments, because it's going to be of type list, because we will have multiple comments. And I can say here comments, and now I need to create this data class for comment as well. So let's create it. Let's actually directly create it from here. So another Kotlin class, data class for comments. Let's make it immutable, and in the comments we will have two variables. First will be value user, so the name of the user, which is going to be of type string, and the second one will be the comment itself. So we will say comment of type string. Now it's auto imported automatically. So now we can get back to the post component, and here, okay, let's call it post item, not post, and here we will pass the post data class. Then we will open the parenthesis, curly braces, and now we can build this component. So the first thing we need in this post item is the row of three items, that are the user image and username, and the three dotted line which have some additional functionality. We will also require context. So let's declare our context, local context dot current. So let's create the first row of our items. So we will say row, and it's gonna require some parameters, some properties. So we will say modifier equals modifier dot wrap content with. Now we can declare our three items. So the first is going to be an image of user. So we will say image painter, and again we will just use remember image painter. sorry, remember async painter, async image painter. We can pass the model for it. So image request dot builder, and we can pass on the context. Then we will say crossfade true. Then we need the data. So for data we will say post dot profile picture. Then we will say dot build, and we can provide the filter quality as well. So filter quality dot high. For content description we can pass the null. Then we need to pass the content scale. So content scale dot fit. Okay, let's pass it cross, not fit here, because we will use a very small profile image. And then we can give some additional properties by using modifier. So we can say modifier dot wrap content width, and we also want to wrap the content height, so we will say wrap content height. And then it's going to be a very small size of picture, so we will say size 32.dp, and let's import the dp. And then we can give it a shape by using the clip function. So clip shape equal circle shape. Then the next item is going to be the username. So for that we will use text. So it's going to be a very simple text. And for text here we can say post dot user, and let's give it a color. So color equals color dot we need white because black is the background color. So color dot white. And let's give a little bit of padding. So for that we will need to use modifier. So modifier dot padding, and we need to have a padding from the start, so there will be a little bit of gap between the user image and the username. So for that we can pick the start argument, and we can say 5.dp. and let's align it also. So for that we can say alignment dot center vertically. And then we need the 3 dotted line in Instagram, and we need it to the end of the row. So for that we will create another row. It's a workaround. So for that we will say modifier dot fill max width, and then when we will see dot wrap content size, and here we can align it to the top end. So we can say alignment dot top end, and when we will put this text in this row, it will be aligned to the top end, just how we did it with the app bar. So we will say here text, and for text we will just put the 3 dotted lines, nothing special. And color, we need the white color, and let's also give some font size. So 24.sp, let's import the sp, and let's give a little bit of padding at the end. So here we will say modifier equals modifier dot padding 5 dp. So that's the first row of items for the post component. Then we need a bit of space. for the post image, the main image of the post. So after this row, at the end of this row, we will say spacer, modifier, we need the big one, modifier dot height, and let's give it a space of 10 dp, and then we can call our main image for the post. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this image so we don't have to overdo it over and over again. I will just copy it and paste it. After the spacer, we need to change the data for it, so we will say post.image URL, and we need to change the scaling for it. So for content scale, we will say, we can leave it as crop or fit. Let's use it fit, and here we will say fill max height instead of wrap content width. So let's get rid of these two, and we will say dot fill max height, and we can restrict the height by giving the height parameter, so it won't take all of it, all of the screen image. So we can say 35, 350, not 35, 350 dp. So it won't go beyond 350 dp of height. And let's remove the size. We don't want to constant it with size. We want to take the all the width, and we don't want the circle shape also. And if you like to give it a shape, then we can give it a rounded corner shape. So let's give it a rounded corner shape of 4 dp. So it won't be too much, it will be just the corners will be a little bit rounded. And then we need to add another row for like, share, comment and download button. So let's add the row, and again here we need image for the like button. So again I am just going to paste the image here, and here I will say post dot. Here you can actually use the image from a site, so we won't use the component from post data class. We will directly use an image from a site. So here we will just simply pass, here we will just pass an image URL for the like button. So I'm just going to paste it, and everything looks fine. Let's make it fit for content scale, and let's remove the content height, or we can leave it as well as. It's not going to make much difference because we already got the size cover. So size dot 32 dp, and then we need another image for the comment. So we can just copy it again and paste it here, and I can provide the image URL for this one also. So here I am just going to paste it, and you can use your own image icons if you want to build your own custom icons, or you can use this one that I am using. And then the next thing is going to be the share icon. So let's copy it again, and again I will paste and URL from the same website. So we got the three images, and the last one is the download button or icon, which is at the end of the row. So again we can use the same trick that we used before. So we can say row modifier equals modifier dot fill max width, and then we can call the wrap content size function, and we can align it to the end. So alignment dot top end, and then we can pass the same image with a new URL. So let's give it the URL. So after this we need to display the amount of likes. So after this row, no, not after this row, after this row, yes, after this row. That does not look right. Okay, fine. So after this row we can create a text, and no, not type cost, exception text. And for text we can simply say here, we can pass the dollar sign here and call a function. We need to put it under quotes, double quotes, and here we can say post dot likes. So it will display how many likes are there, and let's give it a color. So color dot white, and font size 12.sp. Then we need the name of the user to which the post belong. So we can create another row for it. Then here we can provide a text for the username. So we can say text, and text equals post dot user, and let's give it a color dot white, and font size, let's give it 14.sp, and we can also make it bold by giving the font weight. So we can say font weight dot bold. Then we need the caption, so we can provide a spacer. We can create a little bit of space. So for that we can say spacer modifier dot width, and we can give it 5 dp of width, and then we can say text, and for text we can say post dot caption, and let's give the color as well. So color dot white, and font size 10sp, and font weight, we can leave the font weight for the caption, and let's give it a modifier. So we can give some additional properties. So modifier dot wrap content width, and let's wrap the height as well. So we will say wrap content height, and let's give it a bit of padding. So padding 2 dp. Then we need to display the number of comments, so we can create another column for that. So we will say column modifier equals modifier dot fill max width, and here we need to create a value for the comment count. So we can say value comment count equals post dot comments. So we can actually fetch the comment, and then we can create an if else statement. So we can say if comment count dot is empty, then we will say text, and here we can say no comments, we can say yet, and we can also pass the color, so color dot white, and font size 12.dp. We have some problem with the text, maybe let's get rid of it and create it another time. Let's say no comments, and let's give it a color, color dot white, and font size 12.sp, and after that we can say else if, and here we will say if comment count dot size equals 1, then we will say we can copy this text and we can say view one comment, and then we can make another else, and here we will just say, so this one is for more than one comment, so here we will just say we will check view all, we will say view all, and then we can run an Kotlin function, or just we can just count the size of all the comments, so we can just say comment count dot size, so it will count all the size and print it. So if it has like 5 comments, so it will display like view all 5 comment, and yeah, so that's how we display the comments or comment or no comment. So that's for the single post item, and now we will create the function for multiple posts in the same way that we did for the stories. So I am just going to up, and here I will just say at composable function post, and it will take a list of posts, so we can say list, and we can provide the post data class, and here we just need a column, so column modifier equals modifier dot fill max height, and we also not fill max height but fill max width, and dot wrap content height, and we can give some padding, so for padding we can say padding from top equals 5.dp, and from bottom also we can give some padding, so for bottom we can say 10.dp, and here we will use a lazy column, not a lazy row, because we want it in a vertical fashion, so we will say lazy column, and it requires states just like a lazy row, so we will say state remember lazy list state, and then we can give it a modifier, so we will say modifier equals modifier dot fill max width and bit of padding, so padding 5.dp, and then we can open the scope for lazy list, and here we need to create the items function or call the items function. So items, and we are passing a list here, so we can select the second one, and when we can say items, can select this variable, and for this we can pass the post. So post, and then we can open the curly braces, and we can call an arrow function for single post. So post, and let's create the arrow function. Then we can pass this post item function, and for post we need to make it a single item. So post equals, we can say post, and that's it for the post component. Now we need to call this post component in the home screen, but before that we need to create a fake repository for post data as well. So here in the repository we can say Kotlin class, and we will say post repository, and in this class we will just create a function to get all post. So we will say function get all post, which is going to be of type list, and then we need to provide the data class, so post, and we can open the curly braces. Okay, there is a typo mistake, and we need to make it a function. So yeah, then we can say return, and here we can provide the list of, to create a list of post, and again I'm just going to paste it that I have already created an repository of post data. So I'm just going to paste it. So just need to import the comment, and so we will have to declare all the variables for the post data class. So here we have image URL, user, likes, caption, and profile picture. And then for comment, because it's itself a list of objects, so we have to provide a list of comments, and here we can provide the username and comment. So I did not create a lot of posts, just just three posts to just show in the feed on the home screen. So let's get our post working for us in the home screen. So here we, to create a reference for the post repository as well, so we can say post repository, and we can say post repository, and then we can say value all posts. Then we can fetch the all post using this all post sorry post repositories dot get all post functions, and here after stories we can create a divider. So there is a thin line between stories and post, as you know it from the Instagram app, that there is a thin line that separates the stories and posts. So for that we can just say divider, and then we can call our post items, post item or post, let me see it again, post, not post item. So here we will say post, and for post we can say all posts, and that's it for the post. So let's run it and see if we get everything right. So I'm going to run it. So it's up and running, but seems like we made some mistake with the main image. with the post image because it's not getting properly, it's not taking the full screen. So let's get back to the post and let's see what we did wrong. So in the component we need to see our post item for image. Let's give it it's a profile picture is all right. Where is our image URL? Maybe we need to change the scaling. So let's go with crop and see what happens. Okay, so the fit was not working, but the crop is working fine. So that's it for this video, and I will make another one for this course or this video series. So please like and subscribe the video, not the video, the channel, and please leave some comment because it really helps me and the channel. Even a hello would do. So please write something, just something like hello, how are you doing, and that would really help this channel and this video. And I will see you in the next one.